that whatever happens, whatever is going on in the world, we are safe, we have fuel, it's affordable, we are outside the shocks of the perennial price increases. So we'll need to invest in that. And of course, the petroleum bill, we will have to get it passed and operationalize it. Way forward, I think we've discussed on this. And of course, the support we require for you is the passing of this bill. So thank you very much.
Okay, we apologize for that. Let's see if we can get that picture clearly and take you back. Okay, let's take you back to Kisumu now, where LSK President Okero is about to address members of the press. There, of course, the LSK has asked to be enjoined in a matter that was at the Milimani Law Courts, where National Super Alliance legislators have spent yesterday, today, waiting and asking why Miguna was not released, despite the fact that bail had been asked for in the courts and they had paid him and they were waiting for him. Let's listen in.
All right. Are we ready? This is a press statement on behalf of the Law Society of Kenya. This morning, LSK lawyers Harun Dubi and Stephen Ongaro appeared in court in the matter of the habeas corpus application proceedings seeking the production of LSK member Mr. Miguna Miguna. Mr. Miguna Miguna is guaranteed the same rights and fundamental freedoms accorded to every individual in Kenya under the Constitution. These are human rights and fundamental freedoms that belong to each of us, irrespective of our political persuasion. They are not granted by the state. In addition, Mr. Miguna is an advocate of the High Court of Kenya and a member of the Law Society of Kenya. Like all of us present here today, he is an officer of the court under a professional obligation to act in protection and advancement of the rule of law. When it is the guardians of the rule of law who can be abducted by the state and vanish into police custody, there is reason for great alarm. Ordinary citizens who suffer the same fate will not have advocates to agitate for the restitution of their rights. We have learnt this morning of plans to have Mr. Miguna produced before a magistrate at the law courts in Kajiado. And the latest reports are that he has been produced in court and charged. The details of the charge have not reached us yet. This is not in compliance with the order issued by Justice Luka Kimaru. Once again, the state is willfully violating Mr. Miguna's rights under Article 49 by moving him without any notice to his lawyers or his family, and in order to frustrate their access to him, to a court station outside Nairobi, and not where he has been ordered to be produced. It is reprehensible that the state does not react as it should by immediate and unquestioned compliance of lawful court orders. Within the past week, the state has acted in brazen violation of Mr. Miguna's rights by defying one order made of anticipatory bail and 2 orders for his production. It has held him in isolation from his lawyers, friends, and family. It is playing games with the rights of a Kenyan citizen. We are all in great danger. During this time, we have witnessed the state act in flagrant disobedience of court orders for the restitution of broadcast services. And even now, the state has acted only in partial compliance therewith. By doing so, it is violating the Constitution and exhibiting the characteristics of a dictatorship. By doing so, it is placing at risk its own existence. In the words of U.S. Supreme Court Justice Louis Brandeis, in a government of laws, existence of a government will be imperiled if it fails to observe the law scrupulously. Government is the potent and omnipotent teacher. For good or for ill, it teaches the whole people by its example. If the government becomes a lawbreaker, it breeds contempt for the law. It invites every man or woman to become a law unto himself or herself. It invites anarchy. The Law Society of Kenya therefore asks all patriotic citizens of Kenya to join us in condemning unequivocally these actions by the government. They are not to be tolerated in a constitutional democracy. Do not lead us into anarchy. We did not pass the Constitution for nothing. We must all, without exception, respect and defend our Constitution. That is our solemn constitutional and patriotic duty. The Republic of Kenya belongs to all citizens of Kenya. No one should place it in jeopardy. Now that marks the conclusion of my statement. I have extra copies for you here, and I'm happy to answer a few questions. But not in Kiswahili. Yes.
We are talking about especially the state now. What options are there for us?
Well, we must absolutely resist. You know, it is expressed at Article 3 of the Constitution that it is the fundamental obligation of every citizen to protect, preserve, and respect the Constitution. The Republic is ours. It does not belong to the government or to any group of individuals. It belongs to us. And it is up to us to ensure that the Republic works as it is required to do, as we promised ourselves when we passed the Constitution in 2010. Is that it?
That's it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen, and once again, apologies for keeping you all waiting. And thank you to all of my colleagues. You can see that we take this very seriously. One thing I should mention is that we take very seriously the violation of rights of Kenyan citizens, and in particular when advocates are placed in jeopardy, because it is advocates who are the guardians of the rule of law. If advocates have their rights violated and are not available to render the services to the public, then the public is placed at greater risk because we are not there then to discharge our duty. Thank you all very much.
LSK President Isaac Okero, just outside the Kisumu courts, reading a statement on behalf of the Law Society of Kenya stating that the authorities must release Miguna Miguna as per the court order, that they are disappointed with the whole way in which this matter has been handled. The court asked for Miguna to be produced in Milimani. He instead is taken to a Kajiado court. He is detained despite a court order that said that he can be released on bail. They have asked the authorities to respect the Constitution, and he has also posed the question, what happens to an ordinary citizen if a notable member of society like Miguna Miguna, who is a lawyer, and so forth, is treated in such a manner? Then what would happen to an ordinary citizen if the Constitution, if the laws are not followed? That's a little bit about the message that was read there by the LSK President Isaac Okero. I can also let you know that Miguna has reached Kajiado, the Kajiado courts. That's what I'm being informed. He has reached the Kajiado courts at this moment. And of course, we are waiting to see on what charges will be brought against him at that court. Our team is moving to that location even as we speak. All right, let's take a look at other matters now. Kenyans will have to pay more to travel between Nairobi and Mombasa using the standard gauge railway, as the government plans to almost double fares. Kenya Railway said yesterday it plans to increase the amount that